Abraham answered, "See now, I have taken it on myself to speak to the Lord, although I am dust and ashes." Abraham is saying he is made up of dust and ashes. His self is material from the ground. And also, notice he doesn't say that he inhabits dust and ashes, but that he is dust and ashes. This is quite the contrast with the immaterialistic view of human nature. So let's consider another statement from Socrates in Plato's Phaedo. And remember, the context here is that Socrates is about to die and he's talking to his disciples. The first line here is from a disciple of his named Crito, and then Socrates is responding. So Crito starts out by saying, "But how shall we bury you?" And then Socrates responds, "However you please," he replied, "if you can catch me and I do not get away from you." And he laughed gently and looking towards us said, "I cannot persuade Crito, my friends, that the Socrates who is now conversing and arranging the details of his argument is really I. He thinks I am the one whom he will presently see as a corpse, and he asks how to bury me." So notice how Socrates is sharply distinguishing between himself and his body. He continues, "You must give security that I shall not remain when I die, but shall go away, so that Crito may bear it more easily and may not be troubled when he sees my body being burnt or buried and think that I am undergoing terrible treatment, and may not say at the funeral that he is laying out Socrates, or following him to the grave or burying him. For, dear Crito, you may be sure that such wrong words are not only undesirable in themselves, but they infect the soul with evil. No, you must be of good courage and say that you bury my body." So Socrates regarded himself as being an immaterial soul and his body as being merely a shell that he temporarily inhabited. But Abraham in Genesis 18, on the other hand, had no problem identifying himself as being just dust and ashes, and other Hebrews did the same. This comes from later in the story of the Garden of Eden, and these are words spoken to the human who was formed from the dirt. It says, "In the sweat of your nostrils you will eat bread until you return to the ground, for from it you were taken. For dirt you are, and to dirt you will return." So notice it says you will return to the ground, from it you were taken, and dirt you are. The perspective of this text clearly is worlds apart from the perspective of Socrates. As clearly as Socrates distinguished between himself and his body, it's just that clearly that this text identifies the self with the body. Now let's take a look at another text. This one says, "For he has known our form. He has remembered that we are dirt." Again, the point being, it says we are dirt. And this simply is the composition of humanity according to these texts.